All right, guys, so we're back to virtual learning. And so I'm going to be creating videos for you guys for every Monday to watch that will kind of get you ready for what you're going to be doing at home this week. So these videos are mostly for the option 1B students, so not the ones that are attending our Zooms, because you guys are going to get these activities and things through our weekly meetings. So this is mainly going to be for those students who are working at home to kind of help you as you're going throughout your week, okay? So this week, this is the learning goal that you guys are going to be working on. It says, I am learning to identify the main idea of nonfiction text. So what that means is that throughout your activities this week, you're going to be working on finding the main idea, and that means the most important idea that the author wants you to know. And you're only going to be reading nonfiction text or informational, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of practicing with that. I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to go through some slides. And we're going to do some practicing with finding the main idea, okay? So along with finding the main idea, we're also going to work this week on finding supporting details. And supporting details are just details that tell us more about that main idea, okay? All right, so every nonfiction text or paragraph has a main idea. And the main idea tells you what the text is all about. And it's the most important part of that text or paragraph, okay? Supporting details are the things that describe or tell more about the main idea. So they're not really what the text is all about or mostly about, but they kind of tell us a little bit more about that main idea, okay? And these supporting details make the main idea stronger. So the main idea is what the text is mostly about, that most important idea, and these supporting details just kind of go along with that main idea and help support it and make that main idea stronger. So we're going to read a passage today, and we're going to see if we can find the main idea, what the passage is mostly about, okay? So I'm going to read it, and then as I'm reading, I want you to think about, what is this text mostly about? Niagara Falls is the most well-known waterfall in North America. Not only is it the largest waterfall, but it is also one of the most beautiful sights in North America. It is on the Niagara River, halfway between Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Niagara Falls is located on the American and Canadian border. The American Falls is 167 feet high. On the Canadian side, the Horseshoe Falls is 161 feet high. So I want you to think, what was this text mostly telling us about? We know that it was mostly about Niagara Falls, right? Because all of the sentences were telling us about the Niagara Falls and were giving us details about Niagara Falls. Now, one place that you can look to find that main idea is at the very beginning. A lot of times, that very first sentence gives us a really big clue as to what the main idea is. So the main idea was that very first sentence. Niagara Falls is the most well-known waterfall in North America. And all of those other details in the text were supporting that main idea. They were giving us more details about that. So those would be your supporting details, okay? We're going to look at another text. This one's about the Statue of Liberty. It says the Statue of Liberty is an important national landmark. It is visited by thousands of people every year. The Statue of Liberty is a 151-foot statue of a woman holding a book and a torch. It was a gift of friendship from the people of France. It has become the universal symbol for freedom. So think about what this passage was mostly telling you about, the most important thing that this text was about. Well, we know that it's going to be about the Statue of Liberty, right? Because we kept hearing about the Statue of Liberty in every sentence. So the main idea is the Statue of Liberty is an important national landmark. And all of those other sentences were our supporting details because they were telling us details about that national landmark and how it's important. All right, so now we're going to do a fun little activity to try to help you learn a little bit more about what the main idea means. We're going to do something that I call main idea bags. So I have 5 different bags, and in each bag there are some materials. And the materials are kind of like the supporting details in our paragraphs. And we have to figure out what the main idea of this bag is. What are all these details telling us about? So bag 1, we have a cupcake liner. We have a little gift bag. And we have a happy birthday napkin. So I bet you can think about what the main idea of this bag is. Main idea is the most important, what the whole text is telling us about. So I know I can't hear you, but I bet you'd be raising your hand right now if we were in class. I want you to shout out what you think the main idea of this bag would be. If you said birthday party, guess what? You are correct. So the main idea of this bag will be birthday party. And these would be our supporting details. Cupcake liner, a gift bag, and a birthday napkin. If we think about what they're all telling us about, the main idea would be birthday party. Okay, we're going to look at main idea bag number 2, and we're going to look at the details inside. So we have a bag of microwave popcorn. We have some candy, some Skittles. We have a remote control. Okay, interesting. And we have a mini movie collection. So if we think about all of these details, I want you to think what the main idea of this bag would be. And if you think you know it, go ahead and shout it out. All right, if you said movie night, you are correct, because all of these details tell us about a family movie night, right? All right, we have a few more bags that we're going to go through and see if you guys can find the main idea. All right, so this is bag number 3, and I love this bag. This is my favorite one. Bag number 3, so we have a little snowman, and it has a little message there that says Merry Christmas. We have some reindeer antlers, and we have an ornament, an angel ornament. So if you were to think about these 3 items as the supporting details, what do you think would be the main idea? If you think you know it, shout it out. The main idea of this bag is Christmas. If you got that correct, give yourself a pat on the back. Awesome. We have 2 more bags to go. This is bag number 4, and this would be my daughter Laura's favorite bag. So let's look at our supporting details. We have a palette. We have some paint. We have a paintbrush and a mini canvas. So if we were to look at these supporting details, what do you think the main idea would be? If you think you know it, shout it out. Okay, if you said painting, you are correct. The main idea of this bag will be painting, because all of our supporting details tell us about painting, right? That's the most important idea. Okay, we have 1 bag left. Okay, main idea bag number 5. We have a toothbrush. We have some little flossers. And we have toothpaste. So if we think about our supporting details, what would the main idea of this bag be? Okay, if you think you know it, shout it out. The main idea would be brushing your teeth or taking care of your teeth, right? Awesome. So guys, the main idea is what the most important thing of that text is, what the author is trying to get you to know. All the other sentences are your supporting details because they're telling us more about that main idea. Okay, so now we've kind of practiced it, looking through that PowerPoint with some short texts. We looked at our main idea bags. Now we're going to look at another text and we're going to see if we can figure out what the main idea is. And it actually kind of goes along with that last bag that we just looked at, because the title is Preventing Cavities. And so guys, when we were going through that PowerPoint, we talked about how by looking at that first sentence, that gives us a big clue. Well, another place that we can look to help us find the main idea is also by looking at the title. Because guys, a lot of times the title gives us a big clue as to what the main idea is. So the title of this text is called Preventing Cavities. So we can guess that the main idea is going to have something to do with preventing cavities. So preventing means stopping it from happening. So we're going to be learning about in our text about how to stop cavities from happening. All right, I'm going to go through and read the text. You can read along with me if you want and practice that fluency as you read. As we're reading, I want you to be thinking, what is this text mostly about? What's the most important idea in the text? There are many ways you can prevent your teeth from cavities. When cavities form, they give bacteria a place to hide while forming a clear coating on your teeth called plaque. A buildup of plaque can burn holes in your teeth, so it is important to prevent the plaque from forming. Using fluoride toothpaste is a good way to prevent cavities. Fluoride is a chemical that hardens your tooth enamel and makes it harder for acids to burn through your teeth. Some water bottling companies add fluoride to their water, so drinking water with fluoride in it will also help. Another way you could prevent cavities is to avoid sugary foods and chew sugar-free gum. Bacteria loves sugar, and when you eat lots of sugar, they eat too. There are many ways to prevent cavities, but the best way is to brush for 2 minutes at least 2 times a day, using fluoride toothpaste and a toothbrush. By doing this, you are making sure that you still have your teeth when you are older. It will also give you something to smile about. Okay, so let's think about what this text was mostly teaching us or telling us about. The title was Preventing Cavities, and if we think about what this text was mostly telling us about, it was different ways that we could prevent cavities from happening, right? It told us about to use fluoride toothpaste, to avoid sugary foods, to brush your teeth. So all of these details in the text, kind of like the details in our bags, they're all telling us different ways that we can prevent cavities from happening. And if we go back to that very first sentence, it says there are many ways you can protect your teeth from cavities. Isn't that what the whole text was about? Yeah, so that very first sentence is our main idea. There are many ways that you can protect your teeth from cavities. So that is our main idea. That is the most important thing that the author wants us to know, that there are lots of ways that you can protect your teeth from cavities. Now, if we look in the text, there are several details that tell us more about that main idea. Those are our supporting details, okay? One is right here. It says using fluoride toothpaste is a good way to prevent cavities. That's a supporting detail. I'm going to label it SD. Because it tells us more about ways to prevent your teeth from getting cavities. Another example of a supporting detail is right here. It says another way you could prevent cavities is to avoid sugary foods and chew sugar-free gum. So that's another supporting detail because it tells us another way that you can protect your teeth from getting cavities. And then there's one more supporting detail. It says right here, the best way is to brush for 2 minutes at least 2 times a day using fluoride toothpaste and a toothbrush. So that's a third supporting detail because it gives us another way that you can protect your teeth from cavities. So in this text, our main idea was there are many ways you can protect your teeth from cavities. It's right there in the first sentence, and it's also in the title, Preventing Cavities. And the author gave us 3 supporting details that tell us more about that main idea, that give examples of ways you can protect your teeth from cavities by using fluoride toothpaste, by avoiding sugary foods and chewing sugar-free gums, and also by brushing your teeth for 2 minutes at least 2 times a day. So that is an example of finding the main idea in a text. And so this week in your activities, you are going to be working in your iReady workbook to find the main idea and supporting details in text, okay? So I'm going to actually go through your assignment agenda for the week for your reading assignments, okay? So this is going to be shared, and it probably already has been shared by the time you're watching this, on Class Dojo with your parents. So you can hopefully have this to help you keep track of all of your assignments for the week for reading class, okay? So for Monday, it says you're going to work in your iReady workbook, pages 24 to 25, and you're going to watch this lesson that you're watching right now. So I'm going to show you what 24 and 25 look like in your iReady workbook. So you're going to read 24, and it's basically going to tell you about finding main idea and supporting details. You have a little cartoon that you're going to read, and then you have a chart that you are going to fill out. So you're going to tell me what the main idea of the cartoon was and 3 details that tell more about that main idea, okay? On Tuesday, you have 3 pages in your iReady workbook that you're going to look at. And if you have time and if you have internet access, there's a video on main idea that you're going to watch on YouTube. And it's a song, kind of like the summarizing song, that helps you remember how to find the main idea, okay? So on Tuesday in your iReady workbook, you have a text that you're going to be reading where you're going to be finding the main idea and supporting details, just like we did with the Preventing Cavities. So make sure that you look at the title, you look at the beginning, and you think, what is this text mostly about, okay? You're going to fill in your chart with the main idea and the supporting details. And then you also have a question on page 30 that you're going to be answering. It says, choose another key detail you wrote in the chart. So you're going to look and choose one of those details that you filled into the chart, and you're going to tell how it supports the main idea. How does that detail tell more about the main idea, okay? Now on Wednesday, you're going to be working on pages 28 to 29 and page 31. And if you have internet, there's a game called Who Wants to Be a Main Idea Millionaire? And it's a really fun game to help you practice finding the main idea, okay? And every question you get right, if you've ever seen the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, it's kind of like that, which with every question you get right, you earn more money. Okay, so let's look at your iReady workbook pages for Wednesday. So you're going to be reading a text called Life in My Village by Mehi, a 19th century Cheyenne Indian. And you're going to be looking again for finding that main idea, okay? And instead of having a chart to fill in, you have some questions that you're going to be answering. So the first one is, what is the main idea? So as you're reading, that's what you need to be trying to figure out. And then...
Alyssa, if you guys put your mask on, come to the office. I have a bag of Cheetos for each of you.
Sorry, guys.
And then you can go to the cafeteria and get 1 Capri Sun.
Sorry, guys. We had a little interruption there. That's okay. And the second question is you're looking for a supporting detail that supports that main idea that you chose in part A. And then on page 31, you have another short answer question to answer. It says, reread paragraph 4, retell key details that show why the Cheyenne felt their teepees made good homes. So you're going to be telling me why they thought that their teepees were good homes for them, okay? On Thursday, we have some more iReady workbook pages to do. And if you have internet, there is a video for you to watch. It's very short, just another little tutorial on how to find the main idea, okay? So on Thursday, though, you have a pretty long passage to read. It's called Living in the Clouds. So it is a social studies article about some people that live up really high in the mountains. And if you look, this is a cool map since we're talking about continents. Here's us in North America. The Andes Mountains, where these people live, is in South America, the continent just south of us. So you're going to be reading that passage, and you have some multiple choice questions to answer. And the first one is, what's the main idea of that passage? Okay, so you have some multiple choice questions to answer all the way to page 36. So that is your assignment for Thursday. Now, Friday's assignment is pretty short. It's just one page. It's this page, page 37. You're going to answer this question and answer this question. And these on 37 go with that passage that you had just read. Now, this is for my Zoom kiddos. We do not have a reading Zoom on Friday, November 20th. But there is a lesson that's going to be posted in my Google Classroom, a science lesson that's recorded by Miss Payne. So if you have internet and you can get onto my Google Classroom, there's going to be a science lesson that's posted there for you guys to watch from Miss Payne, okay? Now this is really important on your assignment agenda. It says all reading work will be completed during Zooms. So that means that if you come to Zooms, we're going to be doing all of this in our classes. If your child does not attend Zooms, this work will be independent. So that means that you're working on your iReady workbook pages on your own. And this is the important part. It says, if your child does not attend Zooms, please take a picture of completed work from the week and send it to me through Class Dojo so they can get credit for the work. So guys, I'm taking grades on all of these assignments, okay? And so your parents need to take a picture of your iReady workbook pages and send those to me on Class Dojo, okay? So once you're done with your work for the week, make sure that your parents do that so that you can get credit for that work that you're working on, okay? All right, as always, I miss you guys. If you need me, feel free to have your parents message me on Class Dojo. You can also email me, or you can comment on Google Classroom, and I will get with you and help you, okay? I miss you guys. Bartleby misses you guys. I hope you have an awesome week, and I will be seeing you guys next Monday.